Well, good morning. Yes, it is Monday morning, July 6th. I hope you had a great holiday weekend. I hope it was pleasant. I hope it was enjoyable. Certainly, it was probably different than some of our 4th of July gatherings in the past, but that's our world today. And speaking of our world today, I have to speak towards real estate because I am John Cowan. I'm with Ultra Realty of Texas. I've been a practicing realtor here in the Dallas area for many years. I've also had a radio show for many years, Your Home, Your Choice. And I love giving information about real estate. I love helping people, consulting in the world of real estate. And so it's my goal to continue to do some weekly presentations like this because we've got a very dynamic and changing market out there. And I think it's critical that people understand what that means for you as a potential buyer, you as a potential seller, you just as an owner of your home or rental properties. I think it's important for you to know what's going on and how it's changing. So with that, let me start with one of the biggest headlines I think most of us have heard countless times, and that is the historical low interest rates. Yes, we've said historical for the past several years that the government has been subsidizing the mortgage interest rates to stimulate the economy through the Great Recession. But what we're doing now is even more dynamic. Because of COVID-19, because of the huge hit that our global economy has taken, here in this country, housing is a critical part of our economy. And I believe that with the stimulus that we've got going on right now with interest rates and the demand for housing, we're going to see the real estate economy help our overall economy going forward. So what are the low interest rates? What are historical rates, John? Well, how about 1972 when my wife and I purchased our first home? My interest rate was 7.75%. That was an FHA mortgage. It was 3% down payment, and I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. Let's fast forward to today. A 15-year mortgage is going to be in the neighborhood of 2.75%, about less than half of what my mortgage was almost 50 years ago. FHA and conventional financing, 3% down payments, 30-year mortgage hovering in the 3% range. Just unbelievable. So it creates a lot of opportunity, and I hope not to say that too many times, but I can't help it. It is just unbelievable what it will do for someone who's wanting to purchase a home in the buying power and the amount of house that they can get. That difference could put you in a totally different neighborhood. It could put you in a totally different home and carry you forward for as long as you want to be there with a fixed rate of under 3.5%. So most of us have never experienced that in our lives. So that's why I say, yes, it is an opportunity. So what's happened since our COVID shutdown, lockdown, meltdown of March and April? So a good 45 plus days of unbelievable circumstances for all of us. I was telling clients that were ready in the spring to do what we normally do, look for houses, put houses on the market. I said, let's not waste time. For you as a buyer, be 100% prepared. Get with a lender, get everything that you can in order financially. Let's be primed and ready because the gates are going to swing open. I thought that it was probably going to be about a 2-month delay, and then we were going to see a real scramble for housing at that time, and that's playing out now. For those who wanted to put their homes on the market in the spring, I said, let's not waste our time. You're shut down, you're locked down at the house. Do little things. Do things to prep the home and improve the appearance and the presentation of the home so that when we do get back to more of a normal, you'll be ready and your home will shine. And so that's what we were doing in March and April with a lot of my clients. And so what we saw was, of course, everything shut down to minimal points. But in May, nationally, we had over a 21% showing increase for housing in this country compared to May of last year, meaning you can't hold housing back. And we didn't. And people hit the streets, and I was there. And I've been showing homes since the 1st of May with multiple clients. April, we actually started seeing some people have interest. So we were doing virtual. I did Zoom conferences where I was walking through homes, doing virtual tour and verbalizing as I walked through some of those homes, and then patched that off to my clients who were staying safe in their home. So we did a lot of things unusually compared to what we normally would be doing, but it worked. It helped people be primed and ready to go when things loosened up a little bit, from the coronavirus. June. So what did we see? With all the activity in May, sales shot up and spiked in June. And everyone's saying it's unprecedented, etc. So here in the Metroplex, we had a 26% increase in housing contract sales from this time last year. And so again, huge spikes once we could start getting back to some sort of normal activity. July, what's going on in July? We have listings that are hitting the market here in the first week, the 4th of July weekend, to the point where one of my buyers last week said, "John, I can't believe all the houses you're sending me that are coming on the market where we're looking." And she was shocked. And I said, July is our new April. We didn't have our normal spring push. So everything has just been pushed forward. And that's why we're experiencing some of the spikes that we're seeing right now. So what does all this really mean? It means it's kind of good news, bad news. The good news is, and has remained, that the mortgage interest rates are allowing people to do things that we just haven't had those circumstances in the past. You can buy so much more, home, and have such a lower payment, for your family, that it's unprecedented. So that's the good news. The bad news is we have a housing shortage. And if you've been a client of mine, if I've had anything to do with you over the last several years, you've heard me countless times say what a housing shortage we had. It hadn't changed, folks. In fact, it's gotten worse. And that's the bad news. We are down 21% in housing inventory in this country since this time last year. That equates to over 360,000 homes in this country that are not on the market today that were on the market last year. Folks, that has created a real scramble for housing. If you're in certain price points, and that price point, let's say, would be under 350,000, that is a very difficult area for housing inventory, because someone can purchase a home today in the $300,000 range, and that home would not be probably any more than what they're paying for rent in a similar sized home. Unbelievable. So I've talked to many builders over the last 2 months, spent a lot of time with them and their models, and looking at their inventory on the ground, being prepared for my buyers, because the new home activity is a better way to go sometimes than the pre-owned, because there's not maybe as much competition, and you have a move-in capability. You probably would not have a multiple offer situation. And so there's different opportunities again in everything that we try to do, from the purchasing, to just dealing with the circumstances for mortgage loans. And it's more than you can possibly fathom. It's a lot for me to keep up with, and it's the reason I'm going to continue to do these messages on a weekly basis to hit critical points as we progress with the housing industry here in North Texas. So just to add a little more to that on the changes that we've seen, so we have showings up, we have sales up, and guess what else is up? Yes, housing prices. We're running about 4% higher today than we were last year. So again, you put all this together, the low interest rates, the low inventory, the spike in activity, and the value still being there for housing. So if you think that you missed it, you missed the opportunity, you missed the curve last year, the year before, 2 years before that, did you miss some equity? Yes, you did. Did you miss some opportunity? No. And you don't have to feel pressured today to run out there tomorrow to purchase a home to capture this low interest rate. Folks, most of us in this industry believe our interest rates are going to remain low for housing for a time period going forward. We don't know how long, but you don't have to rush. You do need to be prepared. As a buyer, I need to help you be prepared so that we can win opportunities when we go out and look. As a seller, you need to be prepared there as well. Your home needs to be prepared, and there is a way to do that, and I can help you with that as well. So this certainly isn't a normal real estate time, but it is a very viable and very active real estate time, which may mean something for you and your family. If it does, call me. So I'm John Cowan. I'm Ultra Realty of Texas. I've had the same phone number for over 25 years on my mobile, all the way back to my little black bag back in the 90s. And that number is 214-697-1146. You can go to my website, johncowanproperties.com. From there, you can link to my Twitter page, my YouTube page, my blog, any other social media that I might be able to put information out there. I want to see you have knowledge. I want you to understand what your opportunities are, and I want to help you if I can. Thank you, and until next week with our Monday moment, I'll look forward to talking to you then. Take care.